we are at my workbench because, well, it's evening time and my family is spending time in the kitchen. So my wife's making supper and things like that. So we decided to shoot this video outside. It was intended to be shot before the other video that went up earlier today was shot. And that was the Crag, the CJRB Crag, but I wanted to get that one out of the way. So what are we gonna talk about today? The Predator. The Predator, which is another artisan knife. I'm actually giving one away this month. It's September. It's the September giveaway. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So if you're watching on headphones, turn down the volume because here comes the music. Well, guys, I'm not sure how well this is going to wind up turning out. I'm getting very frustrated because my camera isn't wanting to work right. My phone or my watch is not wanting to work right. And they don't want to work right together. So we'll see how this turns out. So what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about this rather uniquely designed knife by Artisan. So I actually don't dislike this knife. This knife is a fairly unique kind of knife in the fact that it has a much poorer blade to handle ratio than most of the knives you'll see me like. So it does come in two different types. It comes in a D2 and G10 version, which is the one I'm giving away on the channel. Now, if you look, I've taken this off of mine, but we'll talk about that when we get back. And it comes in a titanium. So it comes in two different versions, titanium S35BN or G10 and D2. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get the camera turned around. We'll take a look at it. This is pretty good lighting. Since I have the overhead light, we should be good with lighting. So yeah, let's go ahead. We'll get some weights, we'll get some specs. We'll take a good close look at it here at the Predator. So not a lot of reflection, but it's not as neat and tidy as the kitchen counter. But you know, hey, it's a workbench. So this is the Predator. And as you can see, it's got some unique lines. Now, I'm not gonna say it's uncomfortable because it really isn't. Nico's father really likes this knife. I don't dislike this knife. I find it to be attractive. Now, like I said, there's two different configurations. They have a green titanium, they have a blue titanium, and then they have the G10 ones. Now, all of them come with this screwdriver insert. Now, I've removed it from mine strictly because I don't like that digging into my side. I don't need a Phillips head screwdriver that badly. But you can see just the minor differences. Pocket clip on this one is a little bit different. And just some minor things. The action on it, really good, the same. Now, that is not a sharpened choil. That's not like a parachute cord cutter or anything like that. That is just a design feature that they put in. So I will go ahead and I'll tell you that this knife did not do well for Artisan. The only reason I'm doing a video about it is I find it interesting. It's got a unique kind of a look to it. So let's pull this down a little bit and we'll get a better look at it. A little closer on it. It was at a weird angle. So yeah, the tie is done really well. Artisan does a really good job with their machining. This is an integral lanyard hole. The pocket clip is reversible. You just have to simply remove the cover plate here. Full backspacer, runs on bearings. I believe they're ceramic bearings if I remember correctly. I looked at the price on this. So this knife was anywhere between $159 and $174, the places I found it. I believe MSRP was about 200 bucks on this knife, but they were on sale most places I looked at around between 159 and 174. This G10 version, I only found it one place, but these are only 110. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at, you know, it's a fairly well-built knife. Now, it does have a unique shape, and one of the things about it that a lot of people are going to be put off when we get into these specs here in a second is the blade to handle ratio, which is way outside of what I would normally like. I don't carry this very much. It is cool looking. It looks like something out of the movie Blade Runner or a science fiction movie or something like that. So what are you looking at here? You are looking at an overall length of 9.25 inches. It's a fairly big knife. However, your blade length is only 3.75. But your cutting edge that you get on that 3.75 with this large choil, that's not even, it's a big choil, but it's not even something that you can get your finger down in. Like I definitely would cut myself if I tried to jam my finger down in that choil. So with that big choil on it, your 3.75 inch blade only nets you 3.25 inches of blade shape. So you lose half an inch of edge on this, which is already kind of short. Now, in hand, it's pretty comfortable. So yeah, you're looking at S35 VN blade that is, like I said, 3 and 3/4 inches. On this one, S35 VN. On this one, D2. This one is heavier than the titanium one, I will tell you that, with the liners. The blade thickness is 0.15, and the weight on this one is listed at 5.35 ounces. So let's go ahead and do some weights. I am getting chewed up by mosquitoes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do some weights. I think it's going to come up in grams first. Yeah, we'll just do grams first. So on this one, you're looking at 151 grams. On the titanium, 173. I will tell you that the G10 liner or liner lock version is heavier. So let's look at that in ounces, because they have it listed here as 5.35 ounces. We're going to probably come up just shy of 5.5. 5.25. 5.25. That's kind of close. Size comparison. Let's look at size comparison for this one. It is bigger overall length than a Sebenza, but blade length has been found to be just about the same. So you're not getting any extra blade length. So like I said, this knife did not sell well for Artisan, but it's not a bad knife. It's just kind of different, that's all. Fit and finish wise, you can't complain. The titanium is milled very well. It's been carried. I've carried it a few times. It does cut fairly well, as long as you don't get down into this choil. This is one of the ones that I would say this is one of the few knives that I would say was not beneficially impacted by, I don't know what that card is. I don't need it. Just wanted to cut something with it. That choil did not help it. It's not a useful choil. So having that choil has done nothing for it. A lot of people aren't going to like this knife. A lot of people are going to say it's just weird looking. I like the blade shape profile. I just wish the blade to handle ratio was a little bit better. So yeah, it's special. It's a special one. And like I said, there's a lot of people that I've found a lot of people having done the giveaway now and posted up as a giveaway. There's a lot of people that find this knife attractive. They may have just not seen it. I think that this knife suffered from the blade to handle ratio, the weird window glass breaker that is a Phillips head, which could be handy and useful, I imagine. But I just think that it suffered because, one, it didn't get much publicity, and two, it's just kind of an off-the-wall odd shape. This is one of their earlier designs. This is another knife that just did not get publicity. I will tell you, this knife is great. But they've had a few knives that just did not get the publicity or the exposure that they needed. In pocket, this thing's a dream in the pocket. The pocket clip on it is great. Really, really is. I'm going to tell you, from my hands, the ergos on this are great. That unique, almost filework style jimping, it just kind of gives it a look. Now, I do have the small Predator here at the house, and I'll be doing a video of it as soon as I can get it out of my wife's work bag, because she stole it immediately upon seeing it. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and flip this around and we'll take a good look. I just wanted to make sure that I showed you guys a good look at the knife that I'm going to be doing as a giveaway, because fundamentally it's the same as this, just a little bit different configuration. It's a liner lock versus a frame lock, and it's titanium versus G10 and a blade steel. But fit and finish wise, like I said, fit and finish wise, you really can't complain when you get an artisan knife. They are great. They really are. No blade play. So let's go ahead and flip this around and do some final thoughts. I know some of you guys are gonna be like, wow, 2 artisan knives in a day. Mike's selling out to his new production company. It's not that. It just happens to be that Russell has a bunch of designs that I've never gotten to see. And since I can get them in, we can review them. And I'm really gonna tell you, artisan cutlery is really proving itself to me. As you know, a lot of people are like, oh, artisan, they're cheap knives. They sell a lot of knives for like 50 bucks and under. But the thing is that their quality, the quality of their knives that I'm seeing is at that price point. I'm not seeing another company except maybe QSP that is making knives at that price point that are as consistently good. Now, are you every once in a while get a lemon? Of course. Guess what? You buy one of these $500 knives, there's a chance you're gonna get a lemon. It happens. But the fact is, I think people, that's one of the videos I wanna do. There's kind of a double standard when it comes to some of these knives, that they look at them much harsher than this. This knife is gonna be a prime example. I love this knife. Detent lash on this, horrible for what you pay for this knife. So I don't think that the quality is at all lacking, especially with like the CJRB stuff. That price you're getting for the amount that the knife you get for the price you're paying, it's just, it's amazing that I'm seeing that the stuff that's coming out of their CJRB budget line. And then their higher brand stuff, the artisan, the actual artisan cutlery, amazing. The fit and finish on some of these. This is probably one of the best knives I've handled in a long time, and it's an artisan. So just to get that out of the way, it has nothing to do with the fact that they're making my knives. If anything, the quality of their knives is the reason I'm letting them make my knife. So that being said, guys, it's dinner time. I'm gonna go in. There will be more videos going up. I apologize that there was kind of a delay. It's just been hectic. I have to drive all the way to LA in the morning to take my daughter to her physical therapy and stuff like that. So it's gonna be hectic for a few days. I'm afraid that there's probably a little bit of a glare because the light overhead is causing it. Just bear with me on these little sections if it looks hazy and kind of out of focus. It's just the light because I'm filming outside. So, all right, guys, love y'all. Take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.